All right, we're almost there. We are at second degree brown belt. You guys, this is quite an accomplishment, okay? You only have one more belt to go to get the black belt. Now this is a very, very challenging rank. We're going to do spinning aerial kicks, dragon tail sweeps, 4 Pinion, which is your first form to combine karate, Japanese way of fighting, with kung fu, Chinese way of fighting. We're going to be using a bow staff, which is a longer staff than the Jo. And we're going to be doing lots of combinations and Kempo techniques. So right now, being a brown belt, second degree, you better start upping that practice because only a small percentage of you are going to make it to black belt. It's quite an accomplishment to make it here, but it is a very big accomplishment to take it those last 2 steps, that last 1 step, get to first degree, and then to go to black belt. So let's get started with our second degree material.
We have one block to work on at this rank. It's called the Upholding Block. Now it's kind of funny. It might not look like much when we get it started, but I'm going to explain why it is so important in just a moment. What I'd like you to do is get yourself into a fighting stance, and I literally want you to think of, pretend like you have something in your hand, maybe like a Coke can, baseball, anything. Just put something in your hand and think of just throwing it over your shoulder. And as you do that, I want you to kind of lean in the same direction. So in other words, if I'm taking my right hand and I'm throwing something over my left shoulder, I'm going to drop toward my right and throw something right over. It's more like a surprising block more than anything else. Kind of like I'm standing minding my own business. I'm even in a pine tree stance that we talked about at white belt, and I'm minding my own business, and all of a sudden someone comes to take a cheap shot at me, all of a sudden someone comes to push me, or I even don't know what's coming toward me, and I'm just going to move it over to the side to make sure I'm nice and safe. And by doing that, I am going to keep the person's arm or their punch close to me so I can respond to it. So when Sensei Ryan comes in, let's just say he's throwing a punch in, and I'm just going to block it off to the side. He's going to come right toward my face, and I'm just going to move it over to the side. Now by doing that, by leaving the hand right up in here, that's going to open up a few things. Instead of nailing him away, it keeps his body closed, I can now very easily come in and throw a few strikes. Maybe even go with the combination 23 that we did in our previous rank. When we do some of our other blocks when a punch comes in, if I nail it away, now if I want that arm, I have to go get it. With this block, I'm going to keep it close. So here it comes, bam, there it is, and now maybe I wrap and I spin and I go into a few other techniques right from there. Okay, so again, it's a surprising technique. I'm minding my own business, I'm standing, someone comes in with a cheap shot, bam, and whoa, boom, I just move to the side and I block over. And look at the position I'm in right now. This is pretty sweet. Bam, right over with my ridge hand on my elbow, dropping down on it. Okay, and that's our upholding block, also known as our uplifting block. And remember, it's a very soft block, so just move with it nice and easy. Very good, guys.
Okay, let's get to our hand strikes. Let's get to a good fighting stance. Hands on guard, elbows in nice and tight. Now, our first strike that we have for second degree brown belt is called the snake bite. What I would like you guys to do is I want you to take your 3 fingers, your thumb, your pointer, and your middle finger, and put them together and squeeze nice and hard. It's a very, very strong strike. Just hit it to the palm of your hand. If Sensei Ryan was to strike me, it works wonderful, hitting to the eyeball, to the temple, to the throat, or even to the groin, coming down. That snake bite, there's a lot of pressure. The smaller you make a point and you put power onto it, it's almost like a knife. A knife, if I poke you with a knife, it's going to hurt you. It's going to kill you. If I poke you with, say, the butt of a baseball bat, it's not going to, I mean, it might hurt a little bit, but it's not going to do half the damage that a knife would do. Okay? So with the same power and the same energy that I'm using, a knife is going to do more damage. So the same concept is on our strikes. If I put all my energy on a snake poke, instead of me maybe going with a front two knuckle punch or a hammer strike, I'm putting all that energy onto a snake bite. Okay, maybe hitting the eyes, the temple, the throat, or even the groin. Our next strike that we have for second degree brown belt is called the Buddha palm. We talked about that Buddha palm, I think, in our purple belt section, because that's pretty much how we do our board break when we do our palms. But just to focus on it, when we do our Buddha palm, we're actually going to hit with that pinky side of the hand, and it's that whole first half. Where you see where your palm has that crest in the middle of it? That first half is our Buddha palm. And that's what we're going to be laying in. It works wonderful for hitting the jaw, okay? Maybe the other side of the jaw, drilling into the cheek, hitting into the ribs, okay? I can even use that Buddha palm down to hit to the groin, Okay? So we have our Buddha palm and we have our snake bite. Those are our hand strikes for second degree brown belt. Okay, let's do the kicking techniques now for second degree brown. We have two kicking techniques, and they're actually spinning techniques. The first one is a jumping, spinning crescent kick. Another name for that is called an aerial kick. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to torque our body around, and we're just going to throw a regular crescent kick. Now, if you guys remember the crescent kick is just going to loop around to the inside. So my knee's going to come up and circle around, okay? Maybe hitting the wrist or the ribs or kicking out the legs. An aerial kick is just a combination of that with a jump and a spin, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our right foot and we're going to step in with our right. So ready, watch this. I'm going to take my right knee, just going to throw in a crescent kick. I'm going to do that motion as I come around. As that leg comes up like I'm doing a crescent kick, I'm going to switch feet with my left foot. So with my left foot. So it comes through, I turn, and I bring my left foot up, just like I'm doing maybe a reverse crescent kick, okay? So ready? We're just watching my motion. Step, step, and come through. As that left foot goes to hit the ground, that's when I'm going to throw my crescent kick again. So I'm going to step, go nice and slow, step, and now watch, as this one goes down, that's where I'm going to throw my crescent kick, almost like a stepping stool crescent kick with a twist. So as I come through, I just step and come through. If you want to do something with a little aim, just kick your own hand, okay? I hold my hand out and I put it at my face level. So now that's going to give me a little bit of a target. So as I come around, I'm just going to hit through and come right through to my crescent kick, to my aerial kick. Sensei Ryan's grab the mitt. Sensei Ryan's going to hold it nice and high. Set, you put it up there nice and high. Yeah, right there. Boom. Good. Now that's above my head. Set it a little bit higher. There you go. Set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach that by the jump that I'm going to do. I'm going to step through and just hit through with my aerial kick coming through. Thank you, sir. My next one is going to be my spinning dragon tail sweep. Now, it's just a combination of a spin and a little bit like a spinning wheel kick or a spinning reverse crescent kick, but low to the ground. With my hands up on guard, I'm going to take my left knee, my left leg's forward. I'm going to turn my hip towards the ground. I take that knee, I'm going to turn it towards the ground. As that happens, my hands are going to grip the ground, and I'm going to extend my right leg out. It's just going to do a little circle. I'm actually going to collapse down to my butt. That's what it looks like. Okay? When you do it in full motion, then my leg's going to slide up, and I'm going to come right back to standing. Okay? So as I come through, I just turn, I grab the floor, my leg comes circling through, it comes all the way through, and I stand up. So if I just do it in maybe fighting speed, and I just come right up nice and strong. So if Sensei Ryan, come on over. If Sensei Ryan was to say throw a punch at me with the right hand, I block, and then I just strike his leg with the back of my right leg. I just turn through, and I take him down. I can come from here, maybe come into another roundhouse kick, or I can come up into my fighting stance. I can do a combination of the two kicks. Say Sensei Ryan throws a punch at me. I do my aerial kick, throw a punch, I come around, I land, and I did a spinning dragon tail sweep with my left leg. Just using that same motion around. So he comes in again, set, hold on, set, and punch. I come through, and then I drop down with my dragon tail sweep. Those are our two kicking techniques that we have for brown belt second degree.
Okay, we only have a few more Kempos. We have 3 at this rank and 3 at our next rank. The 3 Kempos we'll be working on at this rank is 7 Striker, Tiger Raker, and Flying Dragon. Let's get started with 7 Striker. Let's do it in the air first. Let's get into a fighting stance. Hands up on guard. As the punch comes in, I want you to give me an inside block. That's it. With your right hand, it's a number 3 block. Pushing the hand open, you're going to give a small little shuffle step as you come in and give me a thrust punch right underneath his arm. You want to get right underneath that rib, kind of like a little surprise shot. Right from here, as this hand pulls back, as my thrust punch pulls back, let the right hand slide up and chop to the side of his neck. Right from here, that hand's going to pull back, and my left hand comes across with a palm or a Buddha palm to his jaw. So far, even with the first 3 shots, you see how one shot follows the other. So as he comes in, block, thrust, chop, palm. They flow very nice. Right from here, I'm going to follow him. He's going to be moving back a little bit. I'm going to start to turn my body, roundhouse elbow across his face. At this point, my back is kind of to my opponent right now. I've hit him a few times. He's hurt. I can now see what else is going on behind me, but I'm not done. That was only my fifth shot. Back elbow strike right from here. Drop into a hammer strike to the pubic bone, and here comes that rising heel, right to the groin. And then I cross right back out for our 7 strikes. So when Sensei Ray punches in for me right from here, punch comes in, I go with a palm block, I give me that little shuffle step in, there's my thrust punch to the body. Chop to the neck, palm to the jaw, I'm going to follow it up with another elbow across the face, back elbow, hammer, and then up to the groin. Let's do that from one more angle. So as he comes in, I block, bam, there's my thrust punch, there's my chop, there's my palm, elbow. Number 5 is another elbow. Number 6, and then the rising heel right to the groin. When it goes a little quicker, it flows really nice. He comes in, and it's just going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 right from here. Beautiful technique, and that is 7 striker. Let's go right to flying dragon. Flying dragon right from here. As the punch comes in, I want you to step back with your left leg. Wing block. Grab the person's wrist, and I want you to twist and pull him down a little bit. Bring the person down. Make him extend. With your left leg now, you're going to come up with a ball kick. Ball can go to a few different targets. You can go right underneath kind of the armpit area, kind of deadening the arm. You can go to the rib, or believe it or not, you can go to the knee on this shot. So right from here, there's my ball kick. Now I'm going to fly right into the next move. Stepping stool kick right to the midsection. Now I'm going to go right up his body. A little higher, thrust punch to the body, grab his head, he's bent over, roundhouse elbow, and right back on guard. So as the punch comes in, Sensei Ray punches in, I'm going to block, step back, and pull him off balance. See, I brought him down a little bit. Here comes the ball kick. You can see I don't have to reach too much. Stepping stool kick. Bam, right to his stomach. As I drop, here comes the next thrust punch, and then the elbow right across the face. Let's do that from one more time from another angle. So as the punch comes in, I step back, block, and twist. Ball kick, thrust punch, grab the head, elbow to the face. Flying dragon. We have one more Kempo, guys. Tiger Raker. Okay, punch comes in. Palm block right across. Number 4, palm block. Back fist to the side of the head, aim for the temple or even the jaw. Right from here, I want you to step through. As you step, you're going to drop a reverse hammer strike right to the kidney or right to the floating rib, depending whatever's closest and depends how the person turns. Right from here, they're going to lean back from that shot. I want you to come around with a couple of different strikes you can use. You can go with ridge hands around to the side of the neck. You can come around with chops to the side of the neck. You can go with even a raking motion. Tiger Raker, right to the face. As you pull his head back, your left leg comes around, side kicks his knee down as I lift up. So you're straightening him out. And as he's down to the ground, I push him to the ground. I thrust him toward the ground. Ready? So Sensei Ray is going to punch in. As he comes in, I block, back fist, side of the head. I take a small step and getting around his leg. Drop the hammer strike right to his kidney. Bam, he has the ridge, the chop, or the raking motion right to his face. I pull him back. There's my left leg chambered. I kick his knee down as I lift his head up, and then I thrust him forward as I come down. Let's do that from one more angle. Punch comes in, block back fist to the head. I step, drop that hammer strike to the kidney or the floating rib. Hook the face, side kick the back of his knee, thrust him down. Thank you, sir. So we have 7 striker, flying dragon, and tiger raker, our 3 Kempos for 2nd degree brown belt, guys.
Bow for position, facing front. Step out into our horse stance, rolling out our knuckles, sinking down, breathing out. Our breath and our sinking stops at the same time. Pull in, sink down, double thrust punches. Stop breathing as you're sinking at the same time. Check to one side. Check to the other side. Step forward with the left, X block down, half moon forward, right block, left punch. Feet come together. To the left, back fist side kick, trap the head, roundhouse elbow. Step back with the right, back fist side kick to the right, trap the head, roundhouse elbow. Cat stance, block ridge, X, poison thumbs, knee kick, cross stance, block, thrust punch underneath. Circle blocks to the left corner, trap, left kick, left punch, right punch. Now we cat to the right corner, trap. Right kick, right punch, left punch. Step back, circle, press right palm. Right foot in front, left palm. Left in front again, X block up, poison thumb, knee. Turn, circle blocks, press with the palm, circle blocks again. No strike, we step right into our horse stance, rolling out our knuckles, pulling back in, pressing out with our thrust punches. Right foot comes in and bow. Start with our front position bow. Step out with the right into our horse stance, sinking down, rolling out the knuckles, pulling our hands back into those chambers, thrust punches out. We're going to check to one side, come into a left cat stance, right hand above the head, left hand straight. Same thing on the other side. Left foot steps in, X block, right block, left punch. To the side, back fist side kick, trap the head, hit. Back fist side kick, trap the head, hit. We're going to come into a block ridge, X, poison thumbs, knee kick, pulling his head down, kicking him in the groin. Block thrust, cat, trap, ball kick, good. Trap to the other side, good. 2 punches. Now as we do our circle blocks, just remember we always block towards the knee that's in front. So make sure that both hands are traveling in the direction towards the leg that's in front. X block, poison thumbs to the eyes, pulling the head down, kneeing to the face. Circle, step out and palm, circle, and then finish. No strike at the end. Deep horse stance, pulling the hands back into the chamber and sinking. Right foot steps in and bow. All right, let's get started with our combination. Sensei Ryan, let's get in a good fighting stance. Hands up on guard. Now, 13 combination is done with a belt. Let's do it in the air first without a belt, and then I'll do it on Ryan without a belt, and then I'll do it with a belt, so you guys can really see how it is applied. Okay? So let's get in a good fighting stance, hands up on guard. Let's pretend we have a belt in our hand, okay? If we have a buckle, we could be walking down the street and we feel like we're being threatened. We can take our belt off. We have a nice leather belt, a nice buckle, and I can even use that buckle as a weapon, okay? So, I'm going to hold the belt between my hands, and the punch is going to come in. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to do a forearm block. Hands are up on guard. I'm going to turn my left arm in. I'm going to do a nice number 3 block, boom, right into the inside. Bam, we're number 4 block, right into the inside. As that happens, I'm going to lunge forward with my left foot, thrust punch to the body. Snap the belt on the person's throat, wrap around his head and his neck, step in with my right foot, and hip toss over my shoulder. Okay? Let's do it one more time in the air. So you're going to actually block with the forearm, not with the belt. Block, step in, thrust punch. Snap the belt out, wrap, and step in. That all happens in one motion. So if Sensei Ryan is to punch in, first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to block, snap with my thrust punch. Pretend I have the belt, put it onto his throat, wrap it around the head, take it over, and show it. Now, if I don't have a belt, I can also do it just by doing a headlock. I can block thrust, snap, boom, I can put him into a headlock and then put him into a hip toss just by using his neck. Let's do it again, another way from this angle. Punch comes in, block, thrust, snap that belt over. I can go into that headlock, or I can show the motion. It's just if we're practicing at home, or if we're just running through our combinations nice and quick. Now let's do it with the belt. Sensei Ryan's going to punch in. So if I had a belt buckle on the end of this, like I was saying before, here's my belt buckle end. Sensei Ryan can punch in, I can block, and I can use that as a weapon, maybe whipping him in the eyes. Okay? One thing I never want to do is block with the belt. I never want to block with the belt and just freeze. The only time I would ever block with the belt is if I was wrapping. I wouldn't really consider it a block. I would be wrapping the arm, maybe to come around and put it into an arm block. Okay? But in 13 combination, I'm blocking with the arm, make sure I have a nice stable block, hit to the body. Set, snap it onto his throat. Open it up, wrap it around his throat, and then step in, hip toss. Guys, at home, we're being very, very careful with this. Okay? We're not choking anybody out. We're just showing it. I can even show it in so much that I don't have to take him over my shoulder and take him out. I can even just do it as a takedown. Punch comes in, block, hit, thrust, snap. As I come around his throat, I don't have to take him with a hip toss. I could actually boom and just sweep him down and take him down with that belt. Okay, let's do it from another angle. Punch comes in, block with the forearm, thrust punch to the body, snap, out. Over the head, step in, hip toss, down. And that is 13 combination. Thank you, Sensei. Our next combination is 25 combination. 25 combination, it starts with a downward palm block. As I do that downward palm block, I'm going to cat stance back into a left cat stance. So as I lunge back and I do my palm block, I'm going to cat stance back, downward palm block, sending that punch a little bit off to an angle. As that happens, I'm going to dart out my snake poke right to his throat. Then I'm going to lunge in off of this cat stance, chopping to his solar plex, bringing his head down. I'm going to turn the head to the right with a right palm block angling, left palm block angling, turning his head, and then breaking his jaw with my Buddha palm. So 25 combination, cat stance back, block poke. Lunge forward, chop to the solar plex, right, left, straight palm, right through. So Sensei Ryan punches in, I'm blocking a little bit of an angle, poking through to the throat, hitting to the body. Turn the head to one side, turn to the other side. Now you see how his head is cocked and all the way turned? Look at his mandible right here, the jawbone. I'm going to be hitting that point, boom, with my Buddha palm, and just breaking it right through. So let's do it to the other side. So punch comes in, block, poke, hitting to the throat, to the body. 1, 2, and then nice and straight. So nice and strong, punch comes in, I hit back, through, right through. Good. Set, 25. Last one, 28 combination. 28 combination is we're going to start into our fighting sets. We're going to start with a trap and lock, okay? It's a little bit of an introduction to this trap and lock. We did some traps in our first one. We did trapping like in 16. This is actually going to be a combination of a left crossbody palm block and a number 1 block. Right as I feel them touch the arm, they trap on, okay? Or dragging grip, we also call it. It's going to be a trap and lock right in. And it's going to seize the arm. So as Sensei Ryan punches in, I'm going to block and palm, and then just let the hand seize the top of the forearm. I'm going to pull that wrist in nice and tight. So Sensei Ryan tries to pull away, I have control of it, okay? Now that I have control of this arm, I'm actually going to bring my right leg up, and I'm going to do a hook kick right to his kidney, okay? So let's do that in the air. I'm going to do a trap and lock. I have arm. I'm going to give it a little yank so it turns his body towards me. So now I'm going to take my right heel, I'm going to stick it into his kidney. right through. As that happens, I'm going to land down onto that right foot, and I'm going to look over my left shoulder. Then I'm going to do a short little hook kick into his solar plex, bending him over and breaking his balance. As that happens, I place my left foot down, and I do a little stand-up dragon tail sweep, coming through. We did our dragon tail sweep before when we dropped down to the ground. It's the same motion, I'm just ripping it through with my leg. So let's try it from this angle. Sensei Ryan's going to throw a punch at me. I'm going to block, I'm going to trap and lock, give it a little yank. So now I'm going to hit this kidney on this side of his body. With my heel. I place my foot, I pretty much want my butt pretty much in line with his hips. So now I take this heel, and I drive it to his solar plex, or even his groin. And now his balance is all discombobulated. So now I just do a dragon tail sweep and I take him down. Taking him down. If I have a tough time, I can maybe grab him and help him down to the floor. But if I hit him strong enough, he should go down with no problem with that dragon tail sweep. Let's do it from the other angle. So right from here, trap and lock, seize the arm. Give it a little yank so I can hit this kidney. Right through. Heel kick to his body, and now dragon tail sweep. Taking him down. 28 combination. Those are our 3 combinations, 13, 25, and 28 combination for second degree brown belt. Okay, let's get to our grab techniques. Now, in our last, on first degree brown belt, I'm sorry, third degree brown belt, we did back, defense from the back. Now we do defense if I'm laying on my stomach, okay? So say I'm in a fight, I could be hanging out, I could be sleeping, hanging out down at the beach, I'm on my belly, okay? Or we could have been in a scuffle, I'm fighting 2 guys, Sensei Brian takes me down, drives me down, and now he gets on top of me, okay? Now, however he's on top of me, he's going to have a little bit of an advantage because he has a very vulnerable spot. He has the back of my head, he can put me in a headlock and choke me out, and I don't see anything that's coming. So what I want to do is, since right, you get on the top of me nice and strong, set, is I want to just get to my base stance, or I want to come up to all fours. And the way that I do that is I tuck in my head to protect my neck, and I bring my hands in. So even if Sensei Ryan does try to put a choke on me, so I can prevent anything that comes in just for that second. Now, as he's maybe trying to work this kind of a choke, all I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my knees into my body nice and strong. As I do that, I just mount right up, and your hips are so much stronger. You could probably pick up 300-400 pounds just with your hips, with the strength of your quadriceps. So ready? My knees come in, and I base out. And he's going to lose his balance and fall off. I can take his arm, drive him down to the floor, and then maybe go into one of his, into one of my, then I'll take the top position. So right from here, just by myself, set. If I'm down onto the floor, elbows in, knees. Set. Now I can stand up. I broke his balance. Now I can maybe hook onto his arm and take him down, and I could even